Hello everybody, welcome to Lucas Daily. In this video I want to talk about hemoglobin A1C. If you have a friend with diabetes, you've probably seen them prick their finger, take a little sample of blood, and test what their sugar was at that specific time. And although that test is absolutely amazing and it lets you see your blood sugar at that moment in time, it only gives you that snapshot. You only know what it is right now. But for gauging how well you've done over an extended period of time, you need to use something different. And the thing we use is the hemoglobin A1C test. And to understand how it actually works and what goes into it, why it gives us the results it does, we need to understand a little bit about hemoglobin. We need to have a little bit of an intuition about how hemoglobin works. So in your biology class, you've learned about red blood cells. They circulate in our system and deliver nutrients all throughout the body. And one of those nutrients that we'll constantly need to deliver everywhere is oxygen. And the thing that delivers it is hemoglobin inside a hemoglobin protein, and there are lots of them inside of the red blood cell. Now, the thing about red blood cell is that it doesn't just have that, it has a lot of things. And one of those other things that it has is glucose. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate. And so, because all of those things are squashed together into red blood cells, they tend to bump into each other. And when glucose and hemoglobin bump into each other, they tend to bind. Every once in a while, they'll tend to combine together. And when they do, that combined product is called glycated hemoglobin, also more widely known as the hemoglobin A1C. So all a hemoglobin A1C test really is, it's a percentage of your hemoglobin that's been bound over the total number of hemoglobin proteins that you have. So the reason this is really useful is because by looking at the average blood sugars and trying to correlate them with A1C, we've been able to associate an A1C percentage of 4 with an average blood sugar of about 86. And so when someone gets that hemoglobin A1C result, we now know that over an extended period of time in the recent past, their blood sugar has been about 86, an average 86. And when I say an extended period of time, that usually means 3 months. And the reason it's 3 months is because your the red blood cells have a specific half-life, which tends to be about 120 days. So if you look at a time span from day 1 to day 120, a cell that's been alive on day 1 has been replaced by another cell on day 120. So every 120 days, you get a fresh start and you can see how well you've done in the recent past. So this is really useful, and so by seeing the number you have, you are able to tell how well you've done in the recent past. So you want to aim for a number either somewhere in the range from 4 to 6. And one thing to note is that the higher up you go on that range, the more your risk for pretty much every single disease increases. And so you want to be as low as you can, but as long as you're below 6, you're probably not going to get diagnosed with diabetes. Anything higher than that, 6.5, 6, any high 6s, 7s, that's the diabetes range. Although for people who've been hardcore diabetic for some time, they're usually gonna see numbers that are in double digits. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for learning about nutrition, and I'll see you in the next video.